Hi everyone, this is GeoWill from Lifetime Productions Squared, and I'm back to do some more of the XSI segment for our CI behind the scenes development thing we're doing here. I stopped earlier, so I had to deal with a couple things, but we're able to continue now, so let's go ahead and open up that scene and continue from where we left off. Alright, so wait for it to load. Alright, file, recent scenes. Well, there's none of those really. Odd. Hotel railing version 2. Alright. So if you remember correctly, we have the one side done here. Side of the hand railing. I'm going to proceed as if this one is for the railing on the pathway that you saw earlier that had the stairs coming off this side of the segment there. Let's go ahead and continue to work on this. So all I'm really going to do for this though is I'm just going to copy it over. So to do that, you do Control D. That creates a copy of whatever you have selected, and then you can move that copy over to where you want to put it. In this case, we want to go try to keep it symmetrical with the other side here. So about the edge of this should be about two spaces, 2 units away from the edge of the edge of this, the edge of the pathway here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find this over here, zoom in really far. We're just going to move it this way so I can see what's going on. Alright, sorry about that. That's another thing that you kind of have to do with this, is that you have to move things. If you're moving them on a really small scale, but the object's large, the movement, I don't know, whatever you call these, movement grab things don't always appear where you want them to, and so if your object is really large and you can't see the edges of them when you're zoomed in, you may not be able to appropriately move things. And so you'll have to find the object on another one of these windows and zoom in really far so that you can move it, and also so you can see how you're moving it on another window, so you know you have it done correctly, or at least moved to the correct position. So now we have 2 of these, and they go the whole length pretty much. What we want to do now though is we want to first apply the 55 unit indent to the other side of these. So I'm going to come over here, come back over to the other side here. We want to go ahead and select both of these units, both of these objects. I mean, you can select them by just holding down the control button and clicking on the other object. We'll go point, and we want to select all the points on this end. So we do the basic arithmetic again. We're at what looks like to be 822, so we take 55 off of that. So that's going to be 77, I think. 777. Well, that'd be interesting. 822 minus 55. That's 767. Alright. Really? 822 minus 55. Yep, 67. Okay. So we're going to move these down over to there. Let's go ahead and grab them again. Here we have to come out to here to grab them, since it's going from the middle of these two objects instead of the middle of a particular one of them. And we need to go to 56. So it's going to be just like right around here somewhere. And again, this is another time where we might want to move them based on a different view here. Alright, so got the 55 unit indent on both ends, and for this one though we also have to deal with the what did I say it was earlier, 299 unit thing. Yeah, the 299 units slash 159 units issue. As far as dealing with that. Is that right, 159? I didn't mark what these things were, so let's go ahead and check it again. I think it was 159 though. Alright. Say 25, ignore grouping. And we want the one of these here. Okay, yeah, 159 across. So that's, yeah, 159. So essentially we're going to be taking 159, we're going to be going to the 299 unit mark and then going another 159 units to create a gap there. Go ahead and minimize that for now. It's going to be on the right side. So space to change back to normal, the normal object selection mode, and then only select the right side here. What I'm actually going to do is, let's see, I've been trying to figure out how to cut these things, but I don't think they have a cutting tool much like what we have in Hammer. Let's see. So there is a slice tool somewhere in here. Let's see. Model, create, modify, polymesh. Yeah, slice polygons. I don't think there is an ability to actually cut this thing in half and be able to turn it into two different objects. So instead, I'm going to do this. Since we already have 55 taken off of this length here, we just need to do 299 minus 55. So 244. Or actually, no. All we have to do is just move it to 299. Done. So what we're going to do is select this, or rather the points. Or wait a second here. Go back to points. Oh, this is interesting. Is this one segmented? No. So apparently it did do something here. Let me see. Again, it just cut it into another segment. Didn't actually make it two different objects. Yeah. So all I want to do is just go points, V, and move it back here somewhere. Whoops. So it was 151 or 851. So 851 minus crap, I already forgot what it was. 299. So that plus 851. So I have to go to 607 with this. And that'll be where we want it to be at. Alright, so that's going to be the edge of where the stairs are going to be going down. But actually what we want to do is move that back a bit more, because it's actually going to be kind of a bend here as it goes down into the other section. For example, this is what for example, I'll show you what's going to happen here. Let's go ahead and copy this again. V. That's kind of strange. Essentially what we want to do with this though is to let's create a new one entirely so we don't have to deal with that weirdness there. Screw it, we'll leave it there. But we will create a new one for the other part here. Let's see. Screw it. Let's deal with this. V. And what we're going to do is just to make it a few units in length. We don't need to make it that much. Maybe... But really it doesn't have to be more than one. You don't have to worry about doing things the way you do in Hammer. Normally you'd make one that would be several units long, and then you'd actually cut it and line it up along a actual arch you'd make. Here all we have to do though for an XSI is just to make a curve. Say create curve, draw and you just essentially draw your curve. Like that. Except we want to make this a bit longer. And I'll have to fix that a bit. Alright, so we'll zoom in here. so we can see where 7's at. Curve is selected, and you can actually tweak the curve by using curve, tweak curve on the modify, and then you can move, curve, tweak curve. Then you can move each point independently. Alright, so that's where we want to start at, or end by, and we want to tweak it so that it starts right on the edge of that. And then we want to figure out a way to kind of fix this a bit. Doesn't look very curve-like at the moment. It's kind of getting a little closer. One thing is that you want it to go into it, want to get into the place straight before it starts curving. Of course, you can do all sorts of weird things with that. So now you gotta fix things again. Alright, so we want to just have a nice simple curve. Kind of looks about right. Let's see if I can find it over here. So there's our curve right there. Doesn't look like much, really. What we're going to do is we will take this curve, we'll move it up so that it's about level right in the center there where it is. Now what we're actually going to do is we're going to angle it down a bit. So we'll go to here. Oops. We'll go back over here to curve, tweak curve, and we will actually move this point down a little bit because it's going to be coming around and going down the stairs there. Again, we want to kind of be coming in straight with that. Alright. And now what we can do is we can select this end piece we have here. Switch it to textured so you can see what's going on here. And what we'll do is we'll select polygon and select all these polygons here on this side. Let's go back to wired actually. Damn. What was it to enable polygon selection? For some reason in these versions of this version of the program, you can't select polygons. Right away for some reason. So let's say, what was it? Edit with something U, maybe Control Shift U. Let's see, object, scene, custom. Well, let's have a look. This is why they created the internet. So, XSI selecting polygons. Blah 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 blah. Camera icon. 3D navigation. M. Oh, so just U period. Duh. Alright, so U. Ah, crap. Alright, here we go. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Alright, so select these polygons here. And what we want to do is we want to actually extrude this along this curve. So we want to go to Modify Polymesh, Extrude Along Curve. We pick this curve. I'll back out here and now you can see kind of how this is going down there. So now, it doesn't really look quite right though, does it? So to fix that, all we have to do is increase the subdivisions. And that will increase the smoothness of the curve there. So let's set it to 20. Even though that does kind of seem excessive. You really don't see a difference really after 10, I don't think. Maybe you do, I guess. I'll just go with 20 just to keep it consistent. That's what we have with the other stuff. So we have our angle down here. And then what we can do from here is we actually have a couple of options now. We can bring this down all the way with just these points here on the edge. Oops. And we could just move these. And a downward angle until we achieve the length that we want. Or we could make a new cylinder and do the same thing. However, well, actually maybe it wouldn't be so hard to do. Let's see, let's move that back over there. Back to object. And you want to pay attention to I think it's either this, or maybe both of these. Let's go ahead and make a new one. Just kind of see the lighting and how it looks. So let's go make a new one here. Curve, polygon mesh, cylinder. And I'm just going to set this to 20, this to 1, or about 0, this to 1. I guess 1 is what it has to be set to. Let's go ahead and make sure we can actually see it. I'll bring it over here. I can manipulate it better. Alright, so 4.3426. Alright. And then 226.6444. $90. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this back over. What we want to do now is we want to rotate this on the x-axis by 90. Alright, and let's go ahead and move this over here and over. Zoom in a bit here. Now we just want to try and get it angled appropriately. That looks pretty good. Should have it snapped to grid. Alright, so that's pretty much right spot on there. Negative 13.723. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. Negative 13.723. Alright, so we said the length of this was going to be 159. So, right about 56, we'll say here, going by the lower edge. So we want to extend this to let's see, 159, so that'd be 225 maybe? That'd be 115. Let's see, 9, 6, 15, 1, 115. Okay. Or, no. 205. If my math is correct, which may not be, so we'll check it here. 159 plus 56. 215, I was right before. 215. Just carry the 1 over from the other one. So it technically becomes an 11. So 215. So we want to extend this down to 215. While making sure we keep a height of 100. Which means that it will be at about 165 on the bottom. This top edge will be. So I'm actually going to start by undoing the rotate we did, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and line up this bottom edge here. Roughly, anyway. And then extend this out to 215. Alright. And now we'll reapply that negative 13.723 to the rotational here. Then we'll move this down without grid snapping into place. And we don't want to, actually it's a little bit off, isn't it? Oh, we can overlap it a little bit, it won't make that big of a difference. So as we can see, this isn't exactly as far down as we want it to go. I said that there was a 100 unit drop, and that would be at 165. This only gets down to about what was it? Where is it? 28 or so. So this actually needs to be dropped down a lot more. So we go to points. And zoom out a bit. Take this way down. So that is way too much though. If this is a 1-to-1, it's not going to be that much. So we go back over here. And we can see it's a pretty steep drop, but at the same time it's not going to be that deep. Let's see. The height difference is 100 though, from corner to corner. However, that should have been 132. Whoops. Not 159, so I'll have to fix that too. But, So I'm trying to visualize how it's looking here. So it's coming down this way. Let's try and recreate this thing over here in XSI just to give us a better physical representation, something that we can actually look at and be able to work with. So we have this here, platform here. We want to create a new one, primitive polygon mesh cube. We'll leave everything as it is. Just going to bring this up and over. And we want to go ahead and edit it so that it's pretty much same as this one. First we're going to have to edit the points so to get it on the grid. Apparently we'll need to just put it on the edge itself. As close to the oops. Damn it, did it again. Alright. As close to on the grid line as possible. I'm not going to be overly picky about it. Damn. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this down on the grid. Of course, it's still not on the grid. Why is it getting offset for? So now it chooses to work. For what reason, I have no clue. But go up to here now, so we have that. So the length, if I have it selected on the right side here, just go ahead and move that down over to here. So this is going to be just on the inside, really, of this, so it'll be about right there. So we want to put this at length of 132, so that's 182 according to this chart here. So let's go ahead and move it out. So 1 unit that direction, 182, alright. And I said 159 the other direction in width. So we will select these edge points here and move them as well. What are we on? 12, so 12 minus 159. 612, 159 is 435, so move them to the negative 435 mark. Oops. Alright, so now we have our platform, or rather stairs section that we have from Hammer. And now we want to drop this down by 100 units. So we have this set at, you go by the top of it. So it's pretty much almost on 0, it's on 11, so dropping it by 159 is going to put us at 170, if I am correct. Yes. So we will select the outer points here and drop it down to negative 170. Once I select the correct points here though. Points. Okay, now drop it down. That's still a pretty decent drop. Top to the bottom edge, though, I think is what we'd do it by. Still 170 though. That's really steep. It's not anything at all what it looks like over here. And I'm hesitant to bring things over into XSI because I think it messes up the scene for whatever reason. Just trying to get my head around how it's different here than over there. 100 units. Oh, 100 units. So 111. Duh. God. Brain fart moment. Okay, that makes more sense then. So 111. That would be again the bottom edge. That'd be at 111. So that's 110, 111. That looks a lot better. It still looks steep, but I think it's more correct. So actually it's the bottom edge of that platform. For the bottom edge of that, let's delete that out of there, just to kind of give a better look at this here. How am I looking at it? It could also be having to do with the perspective of the window here as well. And like I mentioned before, the perspective of things changes based on how zoomed in, far in, and all that stuff you are. Zoomed in, zoomed out. Things get elongated in weird ways. trying to match the way I'm looking at it over here in this from XSI to see if something's wrong with it. 132 units though in width and length. This is way larger than 132 though. I mean, it's obvious. So 50 should be 182 is where the edge of this should be at. And that is where it's at, so that's correct. Oh, maybe it is correct. This doesn't look quite as long in hammer as it does there. I cannot seem to figure out why it doesn't look so long here. Maybe it's the fact of having something next to it. I don't know, let's see. Control D, V, down, over, down. It could also have to do with the lighting. So. Still doesn't look quite as steep. I wonder if it's thinner than... Maybe that's the problem. Maybe this is thinner than this is. Maybe somehow I got the measurements wrong or something. Let's copy this and vertex edit it. bring the points up and straighten it out. $16 units. Okay. Maybe that's why it looks weird for us, because I have it set to 11 units instead of 16. This is 16 too, what the hell? Maybe it was from the, was it this one that I was taking that measurement off of? Yes it is. Okay, that's why. I didn't change that one. It's actually supposed to be 16 on those. That's why it looks strange, because it's not as thick as the other one is. The one in XSI isn't as thick as this one is, so it gives it a weird kind of look to it. So if we were to extend these bottom points down, oops, 5. Actually, we'll take this one too. Points. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, that looks much better. That's an example of how just a little thing can change how something looks. Alright, so that's accurate now. So what we want to do now is we want to tailor this to this. Again, this is not still exactly right because the other one will have stairs on it, so we have to kind of anticipate where the stairs will end at and how the leveling will go with it. But at the same time, we want to go ahead and move this out for a second. And we want to edit our, or actually let's do this. Let's go and move that back. But we'll bring this down. So I want it to be about the same general shape there. That looks about right. What we want to do now is we want to put all these edges here on a more angled all the points rather than a more angled kind of look here. So let's grab those. Let's see. $17,422. Well, let's do this instead. Let's go and do what we're going to do before we move it out, and we'll edit the curve here first. What we want to do is we want to switch to wire mode, wireframe mode, so we can see the curve. Try and select it. may have to actually we don't even have to do that. Zoom back out here so we're not screwing up the actually just use the Alt 8 menu to grab the curve, and then we use the tweak curve to tweak it. And we have full range of motion over the curve now, see? Even while it's already been had the thing move to it. So we could change this freely, and the mesh will follow with it. So what we want to do is to angle it down a bit more. Maybe a lot more. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Oops, Control Y. What we want to do with this now, though, is we want to get this back to being perpendicular there. 0 there. And we want to move it back over here. This time, though, we want to try and get it so it looks like it matches this whatever you want to call it, that slope there. That kind of looks right. As you can see, we're kind of still off. Let's go ahead and put this right on the edge there, and continue trying to get it here. This is a lot closer. I'd say it's pretty much perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to move this over and up. I think right about there. Down. I'm going to try to match this edge to this edge, is what we're trying to do here. And what we're trying to do with this is trying to maintain the height here and here while still making this line up properly. We need to edit the curve some more. It's really a complicated, maybe not complicated, but time consuming process. Just trying to make sure that things are the way they should be. Still not quite right. Well, we can move this up and I think that retains pretty much all of it. Move it down. Let me see that. We're still kind of whopper jawed there, so that might indicate that this is not exactly correctly done. So what we need to try and do is try to make this line up with that. The way we can do that is to smooth that in a little bit, and then we can just edit the curve again. Let's try and again, it doesn't have to exactly meet, but it has to be pretty damn close to meeting correctly. That looks pretty good, actually. One thing that's noticeable, though, is that there aren't exactly as many, but it's interesting, 'cause it should be on 20. 20. Now, I guess they line up, it's just that they don't line up rotationally. And what I mean by that is that if we rotated this, let me get a better view here so I can explain it. If we rotated this a little bit, somehow this looks like it got off kilter again now. And it's off center down there. But if we rotated this a little bit, just this way we could line up these lines. We shouldn't need to. Let's deal with this. I don't know how this got really messed up like this. Points. Now we see we have a railing that goes down. A set of stairs there. And again, that could have been achieved just by pulling out that one set of polygons, but I'm not sure if that would have stretched the texture or not. Of course, we could check it, I suppose. Let's see, let's go just move this one off a bit. To the right there. Whoops, not that one. Let's go to Material, Fong. From File. Or Image, I guess. New from File. So I want to go to D, Programs and Files 86, Steam, Steam Apps, Source Mods. Alright, should be one in here somewhere. Materials, I think. Custom. let's see, custom, but they're not in custom. Well, it's VTF files in custom. Detail, effects. Let's try this folder instead. Materials, custom. No, same issue. Where could they be? Those are models. Maybe it's in material source. No. Well, wait. Maybe. No. Okay. Well, I don't really know where it's at. Really. Where would I have models? Maybe that's at models. There we go. Models, custom, test. No, it's for C physics. C. Hotel. That's where the front desk is supposed to be at. City 25 Mall. Oh, what did I do with it? This is annoying having to try and figure out what I did with that image file. Well, Dev Orange is out here. Let's see. So models. Just to go here and type in ceiling gold, trim gold, ceiling gold. Where would I have done with, trying to figure out what I would have done with it. Well, it's not in there. I'm not sure what I did with it now. It could be in Source SDK folder. It's possible, I suppose. It wouldn't be there. I don't know what I did with it. Somewhere around here, though. But we'll use Dev Orange since it's down here right now. Although that won't really give us any kind of indication of what it would look like because it's a solid color, not a textured image. I'll just go grab something off of Google. Images.google.com. Let's just try gold plate then. Alright, this'll do. Save image as gold plate, save. Alright, so from file, whoops, let's see. Doesn't look too impressive, I must admit. But we'll get a better idea here. So, let's go ahead and select those two, or rather those points. Already have them selected in V. Alright, so what if we apply the texture after we've stretched it? Material, sign material, let's see, material, where's the material editor at? What did I do with that? Should be somewhere in here, a material editor. Polymesh, material, make local, inclusion, more. Well, anyway, let's just go and apply, let's use blend instead. Image, gold plate, new UV. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, it's still, well, maybe not. Yeah, it is stretching it, isn't it? Let me see if I can find the, alright, I figured out where that texture was at. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it out to the desktop here. New from file. Railing. Apply as a UV. Okay, now let's have a look here and see how it looks. It is stretched. You can obviously tell. It looks stretched anyway. In some places. So let's go ahead and move that back to where it was. Of course, some of that stretching might have been from my editing of the where the position and stuff like that, where the points were at. Material, blend, new from file, new image. UV. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to move this back over here. Line it up and apply the same texture. To it and see how it looks. We can just do that by going to Material, Assign Material, and selecting the same material. Well, in theory anyway. Guess it doesn't work like that though. Let's see, External Files Manager, Net View, Menu Transform, Scene Layer Manager, Rendering, Texturing, Model, Material Manager. Alright, so scene material. So let's go ahead and material well, it still isn't working, so we'll just apply it as a blend. Oops. UV. Doesn't have quite the same look though. Just because of how much more stretched out it is. Plus this has a higher so one thing we can do though is to go to here, Alt Enter, and how many does this have? Well, it doesn't. We did 20 of those, didn't we? So if we put this to 20, yikes. Well, that's just odd. With a capital O. But anyway, you get the idea of how that part works. See, this one does it too. Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if it's because it's shortened from where it's supposed to be. Nope, this one does it too. Strange. Anyway, I'll have to redo it again, I guess. But that's the basic idea for that. So I will redo this so we have it done correctly, these bars here, and for the next segment, and then we'll get into actually creating the archway, which we'll do in the same way that we did this just now with the curved piece here, except we'll have it going across here. This is GeoWill, and feel free to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.